What's the scariest thing you've woken up to? 1. Waking up to my husband yelling, "Get out of my house." A man broke into my house and crawled in bed with me. Turns out he was in the house for a couple of hours. According to my door camera, my husband was asleep on the couch, came to bed and found the guy on the bed beside me asleep. 2. Also, I accidentally left my door unlocked when I lived in this studio apartment in Philly. I woke up and it felt like someone was watching me. You know that feeling? Then I heard a shuffling noise and turned the lights on. There was a guy in a hoodie standing at the foot of my bed. I screamed. It was a young drunk dude that I literally had to push out. He seemed confused, but I'll never know what his intent was. I've never left my door unlocked since. 3. I woke up and my dad's alarm clock was going off through the wall. He was a really light sleeper and he always turned it off immediately. It had been going off for several minutes, and I think I knew before I got to his room that he was no longer with me. It was just so incredibly out of character for that alarm to be going off like that. He went in his sleep with the blanket still completely undisturbed, and I think I felt some small comfort at that, even though I was just a kid. 4. My partner waking me up during a camping trip. He woke me to gather all our gear and our dogs into our truck ASAP. Lightning we had spotted 6 hours earlier in the day had sparked a wildfire. We got out as ash and sparks were falling around us. When we reached the top of the ridge surrounding our camp, we got out to look and watch the fire eat our entire campsite. We are so glad we called in the strike when we saw it. We met fire crews on our way out. The fire burned for, a week. One of the fires in Oregon in 2020, the Lakeview Paisley Fire. 5. A bed bug infestation. I had had them for weeks and had no idea what they were. I would see one or two here or there, and I'd just squash them, wonder what they were, and move on. One morning, I woke up early and found quite a few of them on my bed. I started looking more closely, and realized that the creases of the mattress were infested with them. Then I started to do some research, learned that I had bed bugs, felt my soul leave my body, then began the process of getting rid of them. For a psychological horror experience I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy. 5 years after the fact, and I still get paranoia attacks. At a random speck in the sheets, or mysterious red marks in the morning. 6. Back when I lived alone in an apartment, I used to wake up to just about anything. Never woke up more terrified than the night when I woke up to the sound of my toilet flushing. To this day, I can only assume that a ghost just couldn't hold it anymore. 7. Once I woke up to go to the bathroom, got up, smack, something slapped me in the face. Turns out it was my entire right arm, completely numb. Nearly scared the piss out of me and concerned me greatly afterwards. Has not happened since. 8. I once woke up to an earthquake at 4 a.m. I lived in a house over the ocean on stilts, so my house was rocking like crazy. It was my first earthquake, and for some reason my brain first thought that someone was robbing me. I grabbed a machete and ran outside shirtless in my underwear. The neighbors next to me looked at me alarmed and started laughing. 9. When he was little, my younger son wouldn't try and wake you up. If he needed something, he'd do that creepy thing kids do where they just stand there looking at you until you wake up. Well, I wake up at about 1 a.m. in a dark bedroom and see the black silhouette of a young kid standing right next to the bed. Golly, that's scary. Then he asked, "Hey Dad, wanna play Rock Band 2?"